Hey, so I got another video for you guys. So this video is for my dreamers out there. For all my dreamers out there. And this is what I mean. If God has placed something in you, like, all right, so whether you are a Christian or not, I think this could resonate with you. And first, let me tell you a little bit about my story, a little bit, right? To really highlight the point. So ever since I was young, I've had this innate sense about myself that I was destined to do, like I've always thought that I was destined to do something big. It was just in me. Like I used to tell people this, and I've told y'all this before, right? Like I always felt like it's something on my life, something in me that's meant to do big things. And I've never been able really to explain it other than it's just in me, right? It's like it's something that I believe about myself. And I've always believed this about myself, right? So as a adult, right, God has given me the ability to like have an entrepreneur type of mentality. And not only that, I'm creative to the extent that He's allowed me to come up with inventions, business plans, all these sorts of things, right? All right. And there's big things. I've come up with some big things, major things, right? But this is how everything ties in, right? Even before I knew God, He placed it in my heart to want to do for others. It's always been in my heart to want to impact the world in a positive way. And now that I know God, that's the leading force to want to do for others more so than myself. Like I made a vow to God that no matter how rich I become, right? All right, so mind you, we're supposed to tithe 10% of our increase. I made a vow to God that not only will I tithe a 10% of my income to the church, but I'm only going to live off of 10% of my income. The rest of it, I'm going to put back off into the world. Right? So that right there is a reflection of how big of a heart He's placed in me to want to impact the world in a positive way. Right? What am I getting at? So one thing about God is this. Depending on your capacity is what He's going to pour into you. Depending on your capacity, what you have need for, what you make yourself available for in your mind, your thoughts, and your heart is what He's going to supply to you. Right? I can't wait till you see what He does in my life. And then it's going to make more sense to you. Right? So right now, I'm just telling you what it is. And then you're going to be able to see what it is. Right? But I'm telling you what it is right now because I'm calling out to anybody who has an innate sense about themselves that they want to do something major in the world. They have a desire to do something major in the world. I'm telling you today, don't let that desire go. Hone in on that. Build on that. But also, now I know better. Make sure that those same desires and intentions are aligned with God's will, right? What He would have you do in the world, right? Or impact the world. Because even though before I came into the faith, I had a desire to impact the world, I also had other desires as well that wasn't so pure, right? So it's sort of like, how can I put it? All right, so if you were from the urban community, you might have, or better yet, I'm just going to use this as an example. If you watched American Gangster, if you've seen that movie before, right? How he was out getting his money by selling drugs, right? Or was it him or was it somebody else? I think it might have been a rival that they showed. No, it was him. So anyway, he was getting money through selling drugs, but then he turned around and tried to hand out chickens to the community, right? And appear to be doing righteous things in the community, which isn't bad in itself, but behind closed doors, you're doing unrighteous things, right? So God is not going to honor that. He sees what's going on behind closed doors. He sees that is blood money that you're using, right? So like, that doesn't really highlight my story because I wasn't planning on getting rich or coming into all the wealth by unrighteous ways. Like I actually had plans and ideals and business plans that I was going to do to create this. But outside of that, the rest of my life, I wasn't living holy. So those other things and behaviors that I was attached to and that I was going to enjoy in, should I say, was going to be outside of God's will, right? So in essence, like a little bit of leaven ruins the whole batch, right? So I wasn't really standing on nothing. But now that I'm in the faith, now that I'm in alignment with God, now he can really do righteous things through me. He can really pour into me because I have the capacity there. My heart is there. My mind is there. And he's given me the blueprint, right, to make it happen. He's given me the actual blueprint. So now whenever he releases me and I start generating wealth, now I can impact the world for his glory, right? So the opposite of that is somebody who has faith, but they might have it on a minor scale. What do I mean? Okay, so you can be a Christian and you can have a desire to impact the world in a positive way, right? And mind you, when I tell you this, it's nothing wrong with this. But I'm speaking to the big dreamers, though. You also got to keep that in mind. This video is for the big dreamers. But just to give you contrast, I'm going to give you an example on the opposite side, right? So you might have somebody else who their level of faith only raises to the height of, okay, I want a daycare center, right? Let's say a female, she wants a daycare center so she can look out for single mothers, right? And like make and provide low prices, affordable prices for trying single mothers, right? And that's a noble thing to do, right? But let's say that's as far as her mind and her desire is, right? So therefore, God to give her the, since that's as far as her faith will go, so to speak, God to pour into her enough to where she can acquire the house, right? Get the furniture and things like that, the contract, whatever you want to call it, and actually establish herself in that area, right? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But let's take that same woman and let's put a little bit more capacity on her, a little bit more faith in her, right? She has faith to do that exact same things, but her faith, this other version of this woman, her faith is to have a football stadium. You hear me? A football stadium where she can take in people, kids, right? And infect the world on a major scale. And that's where her faith level is. That's what she's dreaming about. That's what she desires. That's what she wants. That's her level of capacity, her level of faith, right? So God can actually pour into her to the level of her capacity to where, okay, in a given time, he can actually give her that stadium, right? He can actually give her that to where she can do exactly what her heart desires, right? As long as she's in alignment with him and his will. right? So that's what I'm speaking on. And that's really what I want you to get off of this video. If you are a dreamer and you dream big, believe that. Hold on to that. Because God can actually pour into that and really bring that to life. Just make sure that it's in alignment with him. That you have a relationship with him. And you viewing everything from his perspective. Right? Because if it's anything in the mix of that, right, that's unholy, unrighteous, right, then more than likely he's probably not going to give you that, right? But again, if you have the capacity, the faith level to reach out for these big things, believe that he can actually bring that to life. And that's really all this video is about. Just to give you encouragement, right? My brothers and sisters who dream big, who think big, right? You don't have them dreams. You don't have that passion in you for no reason. God put it there for a reason, right? Believe in yourself. Don't let the devil try to talk you out of that, because people can easily get talked out of their blessings, right? And what God wants to do through them, right? So again, I ain't gonna make this video that long. I just wanted to really get on here and hit you with another video, right? It's one of those days, and give you some words of encouragement, right? I love you guys, man, and think big, man. Stay positive. Stay positive. Think big. Your God is a mighty God, right? If you ever heard somebody say, like, and it's kind of funny in a sense, like, don't bring no small prayers to God. Bring them big prayers to God. The mighty prayers to God. You kind of offend God when you come to him with some minor stuff. Again, I'm not belittling anybody in anything that they're trying to do, right? According to their faith, right? But again, I'm speaking to those dreamers out there, right? Like, if you have that in you, don't offend God by bringing some small prayers to him. Well, God, I want to do all this, but, I'll take this, though. I'll settle with this. No. Come to him with your full dream. Expand that thing. Expand your capacity. Think outside the box. Blow the box up. You hear me? Reach for it and believe it. Even if it takes years, keep on believing it. I've been believing my whole life that something big is coming. And it ain't hit yet, but I'm still believing it. And when it does, you're going to see it. You're going to be the first to know about it. And you're going to be like, wow, that's crazy how God moved through his life. He told us, right? For real, though. It's real. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. I love you guys. And until next time, peace out. God bless.